Welcome to Full Tilt Vegas. We're here downtown, the heart of Las Vegas, on Go Live Vegas Studios. Last week, we were talking about blackjack and craps, but the blackjack, I noticed when I went over the tape and I made I think one mistake, so I want to clear that up. On a single deck, if you ever want to know the count of a single deck, the ratio of 12, it's 35 to 13 that you won't bust. And two decks is 71 to 29 that you will not bust. If you have a 12, 10 and deuce, and it doesn't matter if the dealer has a face card or her bottom card is probably a face card, more than likely. A lot of times down card is a face card. So you got to look at that. Six decks is 215 to 93, and eight decks is 287 to 93. That is it's a little confusing because blackjack is really close. Now a single deck is 33 to 16 that the dealer will not have blackjack. If they have a ace showing, the bottom card is if you think it's a 10, which she flips over as a blackjack, those are your ratios. It's 33 to 16. They're not going to have it. That's why you never take insurance and never take even money. Two decks, it's 69 to 32. Let's see, six decks is 213 to 96, and eight decks is 200, and I think it's 85 to 128. There's a lot of numbers in my head that I have memorized. So a lot of the percentages and ratios sometimes are really close. So that's why I kind of sometimes I get a little confused. But when I'm at the table and I'm playing a certain game, I know the ratios between that or the other games. Blackjack, that's what I said, that 285. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to talk a little bit more about blackjack. So I'm going to go through this real quick. I suggest you play two decks. Six decks, two hands. Two hands is better. I've done the scenarios. If you go to episode 1, I explained the whole thing. Blackjack, a lot of casinos now, if you hit blackjack, they're paying 6 to 5. You want to find a table that's paying 3 to 2. Downtown, usually you can find it downtown. The other thing about blackjack is it's up to you. I had a couple of callers that left messages here at the studio, and they want to know, do you play by yourself? Or is it better to play by yourself or maybe a couple of people? And where do I sit? If you're a card counter, a lot of card counters want to sit at first base. So you got first base, second base, and third base. A lot of card counters want to sit at first base because of the tens. The decks are rich in tens. They want to get the 10 coming out and not when they're at third base and maybe all the 10's already been depleted. So if you're card counting, you probably want to be at first base. I don't care. To me, second base is good enough to me. By yourself, okay, in my book, which it's in the book Winning Ways. You can get it on Amazon, Barnes & Noble. I would suggest you get it on ebook or Kindle because you always have it with you. So if you go to Vegas or anywhere you go, you'll have it with you all the time. So, okay, in my book, the tables that I set up, those ratios are based on the beginning of the shoe and one-on-one. But when you have more customers at the table, the count starts the same. But it's up to you if you're watching card recognition or card counting, I prefer more people because the count, you can get a quicker count. And not only that, if you're by yourself and you're card counting, which you want to keep it to yourself, if you want to do swings, you don't want to bet $5, and all of a sudden the count starts going up and you put $100, $200. You don't do that. They're gonna know your card counting. So what you do is you play two hands, like I said, and if it's a $10 table, you go 10, 10. Oh, by the way, if it's a $10 table and you play two hands, if it says $10, now it's if you play 10 and 10, they don't let you do that. You got to double it, so it's 20, 20. But it's the same thing. So if you find a $5 table, then it's 10 and 10. But that way the count can go a little faster. And like I said, on a discard rack, make sure there's a deck. I would say at least a deck and a half. You get a true count. That's probably a truer count when you're counting cards. Now, if you're by yourself, you're going to bring attention to yourself. So you got to be real careful. I was asked if I'm playing one-on-one, how do I not get caught? Well, that's how you don't get caught. The other thing is, if you're tracking aces, as a way to track aces, don't get your $1 checks, the chips, and don't put like, here's one, there's another ace, put one here. Don't do that. You don't want to get attention to yourself. So blackjack, it's a little scary if you're trying to beat the casino. It can be beat, but you have to have a bankroll. So if you play blackjack, I would suggest that you practice at least 3 to 4 months at home at a layout, and you have seven sections where you can get used to the layout. So I would do that and practice for 3 to 4 months before you go into a casino, and then I would go probably you probably better off going downtown or local casino, or because the dealers there they're not as quick. I mean, there's some that are quick, but the ones that are really quick, you go to like Mandalay, Bellagio, you go to these, they got some really sharp dealers, and they're going to deal really fast. So once you get good enough, it's not going to matter. You can go anywhere. But in the beginning, I would suggest you go to downtown or a local casino where they're friendly and you know you're not under a lot of stress. Okay, let's go into craps. And also, I got to ask another question. Why, when I was a dealer here in Vegas, I worked for the MGM Corporation, and they asked, why'd you only deal here 1 year? Well, when I was dealing here, I was doing fine for probably the first 6 months, and I had a back injury. So I kept dealing, but my back was hurting really bad. It got so bad that I was missing days, and I had to quit. I didn't want to quit, but I had to quit. And that's when I came back to California, and once I figured out what was wrong with my back, I went to like 5 doctors, and I was on some medication, and I started doing the exercises and stuff, so the nerve on my back got a lot better. So I didn't sit for a year and 2 months. As soon as I sat, my lower back started getting numb, so I couldn't sit, I couldn't bend over. So I went to California, and I started dealing there everywhere. Balboa, on the yachts. So I love those yachts. Christmas parade. I did a lot of New Year's all over. I was in Palm Springs, Dana Point, L.A. I've been all over. San Diego. I've been everywhere dealing. I deal all the games: blackjack, craps, roulette, 3-card poker, let it ride, Spanish 21, and I think a couple of more games, mini Bach. So I deal a lot of games. I got a lot of questions asked to me. How do you get into this? How can I become a dealer? I tell them you got to go to dealer school. I said, if you want to really make some money as a dealer, you got to learn craps. You got to go to the school that teaches craps. You should learn blackjack though, because a lot of casinos, they'll hire you, but if a lot of times they'll hire you blackjack first, unless they need a craps dealer. And a woman, The women out there, I suggest you learn craps because they'll take a woman really quick. Because a lot of the men are more friendly to the table, so they go to the tables. That's the way Vegas thinks. But it's a great opportunity for a woman to have a career as a craps dealer. The other thing about being a dealer, there's a lot of perks. You know, you get your tips. You get to meet a lot of people. I've met people from all over the world. You strike up conversations. Be nice. You know, you're nice to the people. And sometimes I got in trouble a couple of times. I got too friendly. Some guys were from Italy, and they were speaking all kinds of their language, and I was poking fun, and we were cracking jokes back and forth. And I got in trouble, but it was funny. And those guys thought it was so funny that they were tipping me huge, and but they had money, and it was funny because I was hey, forget about it. And I had a blast, but then the floor told me, hey, Richard, don't do that. So, but you can have a good time as a dealer. It's a great career. There's a lot of casinos opening up here. So there's gonna be a lot of movement. I'm gonna try to see if I can get Mia on the show and her son, and have them come on here. And they own the dealer school here in Vegas, and that's how we shot me and Gypsy from her show, Time to Vegas. We shot about 15 videos there, and we'll probably have one here tonight. But I'm gonna try to get her on the show. Okay, let's craps. Last week I went into the pass line and the come bet, and I went into odds. Okay, the opposite of the pass line is the don't pass. A pass line, you're a right better. The don't, you're a wrong better. Okay, let me tell you this right up front. There's going to be a lot of people at the table that if you walk up and you're just say you're a don't player, and you start playing, try to play near at 8th position. Don't play near the stick. It's better if you play at 8th position, right next to the other dealer, because they want them right here. There's been people at the table that yelled at me and said, "Oh, he was one of those guys." You know what? When you play the don't, you're playing craps. That's exactly what you're doing. You're playing craps. Has nothing to do with all the customers playing as a right better, which is the pass line. Has nothing to do with it. The whole thing is you're playing craps. There's a ton of ways to play craps. You can be the right better, wrong better. You can be just walk up just to be a place better. You can be a come better, which I don't care for. I went over that first episode. You can buy bets. You can lay bets. There's a ton of bets you can make. When I lived here, I think it was '96. There was a guy that used to go to Boulder Station, and I was there. He came in and he bought in for $2,000. Okay, and he played a $600 6 and a $600 8. Okay, he didn't play the pass line. He waited until there was a point, and then he played those two numbers, which is the best number. 6 and 8 are the best numbers you can play on a crap table. He waited. He hit a 6. He got paid $700 for his $600 6, and he said, "Money down." That's a proper procedure. Money down on 6 and 8. He got a $700 profit, and he walked away. And I told the guy, "What was that about?" He goes, "Oh, he comes in there all the time. He comes in once a month. He brings a bankroll. He plays 6 and 8, $600 each. He won $700. He gives his money and pays his rent." That's what he did. So you can use blackjack or craps, horse racing, if you really know what you're doing. I might have a segment on horse racing because I played horses for 9 years. I was fortunate. I met some older gentleman who played since he was 12 years old. I think he was from Boise, Idaho. And I met him there in California on a simulcast. And he took me under his wing, and about 90% of what I know, I learned from him. And then I picked up the other stuff. Like just today, I hit, for $60, I won $350 profit today. So I was playing at Boulder Station. But I might get into that on another show, the horse racing. But back to craps. Yeah, if you're a don't or don't come better, okay, I'm gonna show you, or I'm gonna show you or tell you. I was gonna bring some chips, but I don't have a layout. So, okay, when you walk up to a table, you have, when there's no point on the come out, the puck will be black. It'll say off. When that's off, that's when you play the don't pass. You have to play when that's off. You can't come in and play the don't pass while the game's going. Now you can take a don't come bet while the game's going. Okay, let me go back to this because I'm going to tell you something about that. Okay, when you play, let me tell you the mistake people make. Okay, if you play the don't pass and you put, just say, I'm going to say $100. The reason why I'm going to say $100 is because I'm going to show you the amount of money that you can actually, that you win, but you're actually giving back to the casino. Okay, so say you put $100. It could be $5, 10, but I'm going to show you $100. I'm going to use 100. Okay, so you have $100 and the dice are thrown. He hits a 10. It doesn't matter if it's a hard 10 or soft 10. He hits a 10. The puck goes to 10. Okay, now you're waiting for a 10 to win. Now, the ratios are actually in your favor. They're opposite of true odds, which is the pass line. When you take $100 on the pass line, $100 odds, 10 comes out, you'll win 200. You'll win 100 on the pass line, 200 in the back for your true odds bet. It's the reverse. Always remember it's the reverse on the don't. So you have to place 200. It's a lay. You have to lay 200 for odds, and they're still going to pay you true odds. It's just the opposite. Okay, but you got to remember something. You're laying. You have your original 100, and then you're laying 200 against the 10. Okay, now you're playing with a house. The ratio's in your favor. 6 for you, and 3 for the pass line that people are playing. So the ratio's in your favor for you to win this bet. But because the ratio's in your favor, the casino pays you opposite of true odds. So when 7 comes out instead of 10, you win and everybody loses on the pass line and all the other bets. Okay, so now you win 100 for your flat bet on the don't, and your 200 that you laid, you only get 100 for it. It's the opposite of true odds. So you got to lay 200 to win 100. So you chance 300 to win 200. Okay, let me tell you what you do. A lot of dealers that I was on the table, I watched them tell people lay odds. Okay, yeah, you'll make more, or you're probably more chances to win. But this is what I tell people. When I teach, and I have it in my book, I show you, you're going to lay those odds. 200, you're going to do it. So do this. If you put, instead of 100, then lay 2, take the total of 300 and stack it, one bet. Forget lay odds. Forget that. Don't lay odds on the don't. Okay, when 7 comes out, you don't win 3 for your 300. You don't win 200. Now you win 300. You win the full 300 because it's a one stack up bet. If you lay odds on the don't, you're going to get either 2 to 3, or you're going to get 5 to 6, or you're going to get 1 to 2. It's the opposite, but your chances are winning are high. If a table is really start to get on fire, I would get off the don't. You could use it to hedge bet, which I'm going to go into, but it's the same thing on the don't come. If you walk up to the table, it doesn't matter what the point is. Say you put $25 on the don't come. Okay, you can do this. You can't do it on the don't pass after the game, but you can do it during. So at $25. If the point becomes 5, that $25 will go to the 5. Okay, Now you're going to take $75 to lay against the 5. So you want a 7. You don't want the point because you're doing don't come. So you're chancing $75 to win $50. So you already knew you were going to lay $75 plus your flat bet 25. You should have just laid the whole thing. So for your flat bet 25, you win 25. For your 75, you're going to win 50. So you chance 100 to win 75. You already knew you're going to lay those odds. You should just stack it one bet, put $100. It goes to the 5. Your 7 comes out. You win $100. You win $25 more. You're giving the casino $25. So I would suggest when you do the don't or the don't come, never lay odds. Whatever odds you're thinking about laying, just bet it all there, and it's stack. It's one bet, and you'll get paid a flat bet on that bet, and don't pass. Okay. Now the other thing about that on the don't come, if the point becomes 6, you can actually, or any of the points, but a lot of people play the don't. They usually tell no action. You say no action. In other words, because 6 and 8 come up the most, so a lot of people don't like playing that. So if you don't want it to go to that, you just say no action, and they'll leave it there, and you wait till you hit the point you like, and then you can say go ahead, go to the 10 or the 9 or the 5. That's fine. But remember, you can always say no action, so it stays there, and you can take it off. Now when 7 comes out, that bet you lose that bet, but all your don't come bets win. It's the opposite of the come bet. So on 7 comes out, the last come wins on the come. And I like I said, I don't like playing the come bet. So that is, you should know when you play the don't pass. It's a real good thing to know. The other thing is, in the beginning of the game, before, when the puck is off and it's black, in the beginning of the game, everybody, when they're playing a pass line, they'll play $5 or whatever on the pass line, and they want 7-11 to come out. The ratios are 8 ways to win, 7-11, 4 ways to lose, 2 through 12, and 24 ways to make a point. That's 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 12. So, 10. So, you can actually lay a bet. A lot of people don't know this because 7 is a powerful number. If 7 comes out, pass line wins, the don't loses. But this is another bet you can make. You can lay a bet. I've done this before. I've laid 20. I was laying 20. I think it was 26, 26. Usually I lay 50, but 26, 26, and not 25 because they have to pay out even. So on $25 on a 10 or 4. $26 will pay 13, and they'll take $1 for the vig. So on that bet you'll make $12, but the ratios in your favor on a lay bet on the come out of you winning. Okay, let's do this. Say you walk up to the table and you lay. I want to lay the 4 and 10, 50 each. So now you don't have to give them the $1 because they're going to take it out of the winnings. So on a 4 and 10, if you before the come out for any point, lay 4 and 10, 50 each. Okay, if 7 comes out, they'll pay the pass line, and you get paid because you laid the bet. You didn't place it or buy it. You laid it. So now they're going to pay you for your 4 and 10. They're going to give you each be half. So say on the 10, they pay you laid 50. You're going to get back 25 minus the vig, so you get 24, and then you'll get 24 for the 4. So, but the ratio's in your favor to win that bet. Now, if a point comes out, if 10 comes out or 4, you lose that bet because you were laying it. If a 5 comes out, those bets stay. Now, if the next point they throw is a 10, you'll lose it. But if when the game's going, if 7 comes out and you're a don't player, don't come better, you're waiting for a 7. If you hit the 7, you win them both. Excuse me. So that is the don't and the lay. The opposite of a lay bet is a buy bet. Let's say the 4 and 10. You can actually you can actually buy the 10. Okay, if you walk up to a table and say whatever the point is, even if the point's 10, you can buy the point that's on. You can either tell the dealer, I want to buy the 10. If you give it to him up there, if you toss it up there, he'll put it on the 10. Say you bet it should be $20. A lot of casinos ask for 25. It should be 20. It's for every 20, you have to buy for $1. So $100 you would be giving them 105. That's the vig. So if you give them $25 and an extra dollar on the buy, if you place it, you get $45. But if you buy it for $1, you get 50, and then you have to rebuy it another dollar, and you get 50. You're actually getting 49, and I show that in the book on buy bets. Now you can walk up to the table and just place 25 on the pass line when the puck is either on any number or it's on a 10 or a 4. If the point is 4 and you say I want to buy the 4, which pays true odds 2 to 1, you say I want to buy it, and the dealer will throw a buy button. So you put $25 and or you can cap it with $1 or throw the dollar. He'll give you a buy button. It should be yellow. It says buy. They'll put it on top, and if 4 comes out, you'll win $50, and then you just take it off because it's here. So they'll just take it off. So you won $50. So a buy bet's a good bet, but you got to remember something. The ratio's for the casino, not for you. 63 to win. So you have to win that bet, but you win more money for $1. So if you put $100, you walk up, say the point is 4, you put it on the pass line, you'll win 180. But if you give them $5 more, you'll win 200. So you're making $15 more by buying it. Now, the other way of, you don't want to buy it for the extra $5, which you should. Say the point is 4, and if you put it inside where the pass line is, if 4 comes up, you'll win $100. Now, where the pass line is, and below that where you put odds, there's that line. You take your $100 chip, and you move it on the line, and you can announce, I'm taking a put bet. It's called a put bet. Any bet after the puck, where there's a point, any bet you make is called a put bet. So if you put it on the line and you tell the dealer, I'm taking a put bet, that put bet will pay you 180. So you think about this. You have $25 on the pass line for the 4, and it comes out you won 100. But if you put it as a put bet on the line, you get an extra $80 for just doing that. And I show you in my book. I got a table, pictures where I show you the 3 ways. So you got the pass line, you got it on the line. You just tell I'm making a line bet or a put bet, and then the other one comes back inside, and then you buy it, and you'll make for $5 you make 200. So you go for the same, utilizing your dollar to maximize your profit. So you have $25, which makes $25, $100. Excuse me, $100 makes 100. You put it on the line instead of in the pass line or below it, right on the line, you get 180. You make $80 more. You bring it back inside and say, here's $5, I want to buy it. Now you make 200 for the same 100. So you're utilizing a dollar to maximize your profit. And that's if you learn the game of craps, there's a lot of bad bets. So what I show you in the book, the good and bad bets, the lay bets, the buy bets, the percentages, I did put some. I didn't put a lot because you don't need to know that. But you should know the ratios. On the bottom of my book, it says how to beat the casinos by understanding ratios and true odds. The ratios you should know on any of these games. Any of these games, blackjack, craps, and roulette, you should know the ratios. Because if you understand the ratios, you'll find out if you can put the ratios in your favor and not the casinos, or a lot of the ratios more in your favor and not the casinos, you'll find out that your winnings, you win a lot more money than you not understanding the ratios. And I went over that in the first episode, and I showed you on roulette, the ratio. That's really important. Roulette is really important. Now, blackjack, like I said, the ratios of blackjack or 12. Now, I do have the ratios on 12 all the way through 16. They're stiff hands. The 16 is the worst one. In my book, I show you what the ratios are, and I do scenarios that show you how many cards you've taken a chance or busting on 16. They're high. The best stiff hand you can have is a 12. Now, also I show you having 12 on a 10 and a deuce. Well, I also show you 7 and 8, and that's in there too, showing you the ratios if you have that 12. So, and it does show you the ratios on that. But yeah, ratios are so important. If you could really learn the ratios of these three games, you'll stay away from really bad bets, and you'll know what the ratio is that you have and what the casino has. So I go into the book, and I think it's very, very important. Percentages, you're probably not going to remember. Ratios, you remember. Like the field, on the field bet on craps, there's 20 ways to win and 16 ways to lose on the field bet. So that's the ratio, 20 to 16. Now, when I tell people it's 5 to 4, or each one of those numbers, 2, 3, 4, 9, 10, 11, 12, those numbers, each one of those numbers, there's a ratio. So say you want to throw the 2 and 12. If the field bet has double on the deuce and triple on the 12, the percentage for the casino drops. It drops at 2.70%. If it pays just double, their percentage is 5.26 or 5.56%. But that has nothing to do with you. But that's the percentage that the casino is actually is losing or gaining. But the ratios are like 20 to 16. They say, what are the odds? It's 5 to 4 in the casino's favor. Like say the deuce pays 3 times, or even if it pays double. To throw that, if you're going to do a proposition bet, the percentage is the same. It's 2.78%. If you want to throw that right now, each one of these numbers, they have a percentage to throw right now. The 7 is the highest percentage on a set of dice. It's 16.67%. And then the further you go down, those numbers, the percentage is less, and that's why 7 comes up the most, because it's the highest percentage that 7 will come up. The 6 and 8 is 13.89%. That's why 6 and 8 come up a lot, because the next percentage besides 7 is 6 and 8. 5 and 9 is 11.11%. If you want to throw that right now, that's the percentage you're trying to throw. And you got 16.67% against you, and 4 and 10 is 8.33% to throw that. If you want to throw, even if you want to throw a hard number like a 6 or 8, that's 13.89%. It's the same as as you trying to throw it. So that's a percentage. Remember, the lower the number, the harder it is to come up, because it starts from 2.78 and goes all the way to 16.67%. So those percentages, I have some of those in there, but those are the percentages. That's why 7 comes up the most. Let me see. On a buy bet, it's I think it's 4.76%. If they don't ask you, if they ask you for the dollar up front, that's what the percentage. They're in my head here. Let me see if I can get them. Let's see, the 4 and 10. If you win the bet, the percentage drops down to 2.44%. Let me see, on the, and if they don't ask you for the VIG up front, it drops down to 1.67%. The 5 and 9, that's on a buy, it's 3.23%. Yeah, on the 6 and 8, that's 4%. So, so those are the percentages. That's why I show you. It's so hard to hit these. If you knew the percentages, you would know to stay away from bad bets. Like I said last week on the proposition bets, the 6 and 8, I stay away from those because it comes up too much soft. It comes up 5 ways, 4 of those are soft. You're only going to hit it one time. This is a hard 6. If it comes up like this, you're going to lose the hard 6. Let me see, 6, what is it? No, it's 5 and 1. Well, I just showed that. 6, I can get them in my head, is a deuce and a 4. That's a soft 6. And there's each time you have a dice, as long as you can turn a die, and remember what I said, a die, not dice. These are dice. This is a die. Okay. As long as you can turn it, if you can turn it and make the same number, that means you can do it one more time. So you can turn these dice 5 ways and hit a 6. A 7, it's 6 ways. And I showed you last week why 7 comes up. So, and a 5 and 9, it's 4 ways. As long as you can turn them. The 3, the ace deuce, you can turn them twice. And you can make a 3. As long as you can turn it, I'm going to turn this. I'm going to turn it here, and then I'm going to do that. See, ace deuce. So as long as you can turn them and make that same number, that's 2 times. Now this is why 6, aces comes up. There's only one way to hit aces, and there's only one way to hit it 12. So it only comes up one way. I've talked to mathematicians. I love when mathematicians come up to the table, and because if they don't understand the ratios of the dice and the percentages, high 7 comes up 16.67%, and aces comes up 2.78%. If they don't understand that, their math will be off. So, but sometimes they're close. But I talked to one time a mathematician. He came to the table, him and an engineer. The engineer agreed with me. The mathematician said no. In a set of dice, 12 only comes up once. So now let's see if I can remember. The 12 is only going to come up once. So what did I say? One in I can't remember. I think it's 1 in 12. The ratio is 1 in 12. It's in my book. All those are in my book, the ratios of the dice coming up. But you got to remember, if you, and the thing is about the aces and 12, the hard ways are the same thing. There's only one way to come up. You can't turn this and find another 4. There's only one way. So the ratios are the same. Aces, 12, and all the hards. So it's only one way to come up. So, the engineer said I was right, and the mathematician, he sped off some crazy numbers. I go, wow, okay, that may be true, but I just showed you. As long as I can flip it, says I can do it one more time. So this is the ratio. So that was really interesting. What do you got? A commercial? Blackjack. Yeah, so we're going to do a commercial right now. After that, I'm going to come back and go through proposition bets.
Next, against the Colts, Schrader screens to new Raider Roger Craig.
All right, so it looks like the NFL season is up and ready to roll.
Hi, everybody. This is Rich Perez. Join Jay Schrader, the former Raider quarterback, and I right here in studio, Go Live Vegas, live and interactive. Nationwide sports, Las Vegas every Thursday at 6 p.m. It's going to be a great show. That's 9 p.m. Eastern. We're going to be on Go Live Vegas, Twitter, Twitch, Periscope, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. You've got to join us every Thursday, 6 p.m. right here.
It's us.
I'm here, Richard Delatorre, the author of, it's in the book, Winning Ways, teaching you how to beat the casinos by understanding ratios and true odds.
That's right. We're here to teach you all those tips that Richard talked about when he was on our show, Time to Vegas. Right now, it's Time to Vegas.
Hi, Richard Delatorre here. It's in the book Winning Ways, another segment on craps. This one we're going to go into hedge betting. It's on the come out. There's no point, and say we're betting $5. You're betting $5. Now you're hoping 7-11 comes out, which is best numbers on the come out. If 2, 3, 12 come out, you lose your $5. So to hedge bet against this, you would bet $1 on any craps. Do not play C and E. You're already going to win on 11. And you don't bet C, because you'll win. If it's a 2 table, you win. Well, you win 7 here, and a 2 table you win 7 here. But if it's a 4 table, you win 6 here and 7 here. So on any craps, 2, 3, 12 comes up. You lose your 5, but on any craps, you will win 7. So you get back your original 5 and you make a $2 profit. So that's a hedge betting on the come out on the pass line, and you're hedge betting against that, against the losses. Now, the other scenario on that is if you bet $10, you would bet $2. It's $5 for every 2. So it's $5 per every, it's $1 for every $5. Okay, so now you're betting 10. So you have to bet $2 on any craps. If you lose this, you will get back 14. So you get back your $10 plus you make a $4 profit, and you still got your $2 up. Now, this is where you really have to pay attention. If you bet 15, now instead of betting 3 here, you bet 3-way craps. So now you lose. If you lose this, you'll win 13 here, or you'll win 27. So you're hoping to hit aces or 12. So once you get past 15, or you go to 15, now it's 3-way craps instead of any craps. And that's in the book. Yeah, I don't play these bets unless the table's really on fire, because it's a sucker bet. But you can play it. I played this one time and I actually won it the first time I ever played it. But the table was shooting a lot of small numbers, so I play that. All small is all these numbers. When the dealer, the number comes up, say the 5 comes up, they'll mark it. If the 4 comes up, they'll mark it. If 5 comes up again, they don't mark it, it's already there. You have to hit all 6 numbers, or 5 numbers. And so when this comes up, you'll pay 35 for 1. You can play all tall, which is the same thing. The dealer will mark the 8, they'll mark the 10. If 10 comes up again, they don't mark it. You have to hit all these numbers before a 7. Once you hit a 7, you got to start all over. The same thing here. If you're playing make them all, you have to hit all these numbers. This is a crazy bet. I wouldn't do it. Hey, we're back here, Full Tilt Vegas. Okay, we're gonna go into proposition bets. Now, proposition bets, they're actually bad. You really don't want to get in a habit. I see people playing proposition bets like crazy. They do their CEE, which means craps, and 11. They'll $1 on the 12, $1 on aces, $1 on ace deuce, and if they, the funny thing, if they win, especially on the come out, or because you can play them on the come out, you can make any of these bets. The casino wants you to make these bets because they're for the casino. The percentage goes from all the way from 2.78 all the way to 17%. So they want you to make these bets. On the proposition bet, it has on top says 7. If you ever want to make a bet and it's a 7, don't yell out, "Give me a 7." The nickname for that is called Big Red. So you want to call it Big Red. The dealers know what it is. So you want to always say, while the game is going, always say Big Red. Don't say 7, because everybody will look at you, because that means all the pass lines, they're all going to lose. So you can make that bet. A lot of times I make that bet on the come out, because the percentages and ratios, 7's going to come out first. So if you win, just say $5, $5 on the pass line, you win 5 for your flat bet, and on that bet it pays 4-1. Or some tables on a 4 format, or it's not a 2 format, it's a 4 format. It'll still pay the same. It says 5-4-1, so it's 5 for your 1. On a 2 format, which I have in my book, it'll say 4-2-1, and it stays up. Now you can take it down or leave it up. A lot of times I leave it up at least twice, because I've won it a lot of times twice, because 7 comes up. You can actually take it down and put it on 11. You can do that, but the percentage of you hitting it is 5.56%. It's actually low, but that's why it pays 15-1 or 15 for your 1. So you get $14. But I would stay away from those. Now, what I would suggest, which I do, is I use those bets to hedge bet. In my book, I show you how to hedge bet. Now, hedge betting is the greatest move in craps. I don't think I told you this story. When my son, even though I look 29, my son turned 21. My daughter too. When she turned 21, I wanted them to win on their birthday, and my daughter hung out with me. She called in when I was on Time to Vegas on Gypsy and Aaron Phillips' show. She called in, she talked, and said she won lots of money. Well, it was fortunate. I was at, I'm not going to mention the casino, but I was at a casino, and I gave my daughter $10 and her friend Narissa $10, and I think Trevor was there, my daughter's boyfriend at the time. He didn't want to bet. He just stood there. So on their the table was on fire. I bought in for $300, and by the time they showed up on her 21st birthday, I was up like $2,500. That table's on fire. I couldn't go wrong. So we were winning, and a long story short, my daughter won $1,200 and something, and Narissa won $700 something. She didn't want to bet a lot. She was too afraid to lose her money. So I said, well, it's fine. So, but that was a good day, because I walked off the table. I think I had $4,400. I only bought in for $300, but I had a great knowledge about the game of craps. Now, in my book, in the back, I say, this book is not a guarantee. If anybody tells you can guarantee you on winning, walk away. I've been saying that for years. All this book is showing you is the percentages, the ratios, and the odds. That's all it's showing you, and it's teaching you good and bad bets. So that's what I tell you when it's not a guarantee. I mean, I've lost, but when I lose a small amount, because I don't buy in like some of these people I've watched. Some of these people buy in for thousands, and they're playing crazy bets. Oh, like I was saying, my son on his 21st birthday, we were hedge betting in the beginning, because I noticed the table was bad. I usually chart the tables, and the table was bad. So I said, well, I want to play, because we had to play to keep our spot. There was a guy on the other side. He bought in for $5,000. Okay, 5,000. I bought in for, I think it was 200. My son bought in for 200, and we were just hedge betting. So we're hedge betting in the beginning, and I call him Table Captain. Mr. Table Captain over there wanted to show everybody, he knew what he was doing. He was throwing, give me the 12, the aces, 20 for the boys, give me all the hards working. He's working all these bets before there's a point. And I'm saying, what is this guy doing? And I told my son, no, just play $34 on the don't. Now, we weren't playing, don't betters. I'll show you in the book, I show you how to hedge against any number you're playing. So we had $34. The reason why it's 34 because that's what you're playing by the time you start betting the bets you're hedging against. So we had 34 on the don't, and the table was bad. And we sometimes we catch aces or ace deuce. Now 12 is a push. You don't win nothing, they don't take it. But we kept getting paid $34. We hit it twice, so we were up. And then they finally got a point. Now, the worst thing that to hit is a 6 and 8 because they come up like, now you have the option of taking that bet off. But I told myself, no, let's just leave it. Let's see what happens. So we kept playing, and we were hedge betting. We were hedge betting for probably, I'd say, it had to be at least a half hour. We were hedge betting a half hour, and the hedge betting saved us. A lot of people went broke, and they went to the ATM, and Mr. Table Captain over there, he was flashing all this money. He was betting this, and the table was choppy, and that means it's good, it's bad, it's good. It's 20 numbers, 7 come out. It was just bad. What saved us was hedge betting, and then the table got good, and it got real good. It got on fire. Anyway, Mr. Table Captain was only down $600. He was standing up against another table over there, and we start winning, and man, we start winning. I start pressing my bets. I told Eric, don't hedge bet no more. We don't need to do that. This guy's shooting. So I told the guy, hey, come here. This table's on fire. And he looked at me, he was going, and I go, what's the matter? He's just saying no. And so anyway, so I end up winning. I think it was, I don't know if it was, for my 200, I think I won like 1,400. My son, I think he won 1,700, but it took a long time for us to win. And the only thing that saved us was the hedge betting. Now, in my book, I show you how to hedge bet. There's a lot of ways to hedge bet. The table, when you're playing, it could be bad, it could be good, and I tell you when to stop hedge betting. So there's a way to hedge bet, and then there's a way to stop, and you should stop. Now, the proposition bets, you can use that for hedge betting. Like on the come out, I think I was on my last video, or the video we just showed. If you put $5 on the pass line and $1 on any craps, don't let the dealer put it on C&E or craps. You'll see the position. There'll be 8 of them, and that's where the position is. Oh, by the way, on a crap table, when you're next to the stick man, you're 1. The guy next to you is 2, and it goes all the way. Usually it's called the hook, at the end of the table. That's called the hook. That's number 5. In the middle of the table on both sides, that's number 6. And next to the dealer, which is that's 8. You'll be 8. So don't move. The dealer don't ask you. He just, wherever your money's out on the table, he knows what position you're at. So you don't have to tell him that's my money if a new dealer shows up. So yeah, so for every $5 you bet on the pass line, bet $1 on any craps. Make sure it's right next to the stick man. You'll see say any craps, and doesn't matter if it's a 4 table or a 2 table. It'll pay you $7. So if 2, 3, 12 comes out and you lose your $5. The dealer will pay you $7 for your hedge betting, your hedge bet on any craps. So you get back your $5, you make a $2 profit. If you bet $10, give them $2. If you lose the $10, they'll give you $14, and your bet's still up. So that's a form of hedge betting on the come out, and you'll replace the $10. Now, once you go to $15, don't any craps no more. You're better off playing 3-way craps, and you'll see it. It'll say deuces, ace, deuce, and 12. They'll put it right there. Ace, deuce comes out. If it's aces and 12, you'll get 27. And a 2 table, you'll get 28 or 13. So that's just a way of hedge betting, and you'll notice sometimes it'll save you in the beginning. So it's just another way. That's what I use proposition bets for, to hedge bet, and you can do that all day long. And it really helps you out a lot. If you're playing 6 and 8, and you hedge bet against 6 and 8, if you put 12 and 12, you put $24. You don't have to put the exact amount, because hedge betting doesn't mean you're getting exactly the amount. You're just getting close to your losses. So you get your money back, or you'll get a little less, but you cut down your losses, and that's what's important on a crap table. So I know the hard 4 is a prop bet, but I only use it because I like hard 4. It comes up for me. The other thing on using money, you make a $7 profit, and you still have your bet up. For $1, you make 7. You can take those $7 and then take the other hard ways and still have a $4 profit, but you got the profit from your winnings, not your pocket. So there's different ways I show you in the book, and like I said, I suggest you. There's a lot of ways you can get it on your phone. So with you, yeah. So I'm gonna be going into some more Full Tilt Vegas. So we'll probably see you next week. I might be streaming from my home. So I want to thank you, and let's go to the casino and make some big money. Peace out.